Mabuhay ug madayaw everyone. I hope that you are all doing great today. And for today, I will be one of your presenter and I will be going to discuss about the elements of communication. So at the end of this chapter, we shall be able to identify the elements of communication, understand the process of communication, and understand the importance of communication. Communication is made up of important elements that work together, which includes the sender, encoding, message, media, decoding, receiver, response, noise, and feedback. So the first element in the communication process is the sender, the person who starts the communication. So the sender is the one who sends the idea or the message to another person. Just for example, if one of our teacher announces that there will be a quiz tomorrow, so the sender is the teacher as she or he has the information that they want us to receive and understand. Next is the message, which is the heart of the communication. It is the idea, suggestion, feeling, or thought being shared by the sender to the receiver. And next would be encoding. So before the message is sent, it has to be encoded by the sender. So encoding means putting words, thoughts into words or symbols or actions so others can understand you. So after encoding, we do have the medium. So this is the medium, passage, or route through which the encoded message is passed by the sender to the receiver. So there can be various forms of medium or media. It can be face-to-face communication through television, radio, through text, chat, or through email. So choosing the right channel is very important because just for example, if the message you would like to relay is personal or sensitive, so it's better to say it in person rather than through text because we all know as well that text has no emotion, so it might lead to misunderstanding or miscommunication if incorrect channel is being used in relaying the message. So after choosing the right channel or medium, we now have decoding. So decoding is the process done by the receiver to understand the message. So it is the process of translating the encoded message into language understandable by the receiver. So the receiver now interprets the words, symbols, or actions used by the sender to find the meaning of what they're trying to relay. So next is we have the receiver. So the receiver is the person who gets and interprets the message. So just like my example earlier sa sender where the teachers announces that there would be a quiz tomorrow. So the receiver is of course no other than the students. So they are the one who interprets the message and it is the person where the message has been sent or being sent. So after the receiver receives the message, we now have the feedback. So feedback is, or this part is one of the important part as feedback is the response of the receiver to the sender. So it is the receiver's response to the message that has been sent. So feedback tells the sender if the message has been received or if it has been understood, if it is being clear or not. So feedback marks the completion of the communication process because if there would be no feedback, there would be no communication because the sender would be left hanging and would not know if the receiver understood the message or if it has been relayed or clear or not. And last but not the least element of communication process is the noise. So noise refers to anything that interrupts the message. So it can be physical noise such as loud sounds, psychological noise such as confusions, stress. It can also be poor internet or internet connection. So it is the hindrance in the process of communication. So to sum it all up, the communication process with the sender who formulates the message that he or she would like to relay or convey to the receiver. So he or she would encode his idea or message through symbols, words, or actions. So the sender selects the proper channel or medium where the message is being transmitted. So it can be face-to-face, through text, chat, call, through television, radio, and also could be through email. And after choosing the right channel or medium, the receiver now receives the message. And after the message is being received, it is decoded by the receiver. So the receiver would translate the message and understand the meaning of it. So after decoding, the receiver now sends his feedback or response to the sender to complete the process of communication, to confirm if the message has been understood or if it is being clear or not, or to clarify some confusions if the message is not that clear. So next is the importance of communication. So how important communication is? So communication acts as a basis of coordination. Communication helps coordinate the activities of different people and departments. So when everyone is aware or understand their goals, their tasks, the instructions that are given, work can become more organized and efficient. For example, in a hotel, all of the departments such as the front desk, housekeeping communicates with one another so that they are all aware how to make sure that guests are served properly. Next is communication helps in the smooth working of an enterprise. So an organization can function well without proper communication. Because communication keeps everyone connected, being informed, updated about what needs to be done, and if communication stops, confusion and delays would arrive or would happen. So good communication keeps the workplace running smoothly every day. So next is communication acts as a basis of decision making. So decision making happens on having the right information, and that comes from communication. So communication is really important for decision making because when leaders or managers communicate clearly, they can collect opinions, share ideas, and make smart choice. Because without proper communication, people can make poor and informed decisions. And next is communication increases managerial efficiency. So a manager's job involves giving instructions, assigning tasks, and checking progress. So communication is very important because all of those processes require communication. So clear communication helps managers or leaders perform their duties more effectively by communicating to their other workers or to their advisories to make sure that everyone knows what to do and how to do it. And next is communication promotes cooperation and industrial peace. So good communication creates understanding and trust between management and employees or between other people. When both sides listen and talk openly, conflicts are reduced and teamwork can improve. So this leads to peace and harmony in the organization, which helps everyone work happily and productively. So communication is really important to promote cooperation because I believe that if there would be a proper communication, everyone would know that they are on the same page, everyone would understand one another, and there would be harmony and positivity in the workplace. Next is communication establishes effective leadership. So a good leader must be a good communicator. So leadership is about inspiring, guiding others, and this can only be done through a clear and motivating communication. So when leaders express their ideas, listen to others, they gain respect and loyalty from other person. And last is communication boosts morale and provides motivation. So communication motivates people. When employee or when a person receive a feedback, appreciation, and encouragement from others, they feel valued and confident, which boosts morale and inspire others to perform better. So communication is really important as it boosts someone's confidence. So just simply saying good job or appreciating the work they have done, it is making a big difference. And that ends my discussion about the elements of communication. So I hope you were able to identify the elements of communication, understand the process of communication, and identify the importance of communication. Because communication is part of our daily lives as we communicate to one another every day.
So, chapter 10 talks about leadership. Objective: define and explain leadership. Identify the different characteristics of leaders. Differentiate managers from leaders. Identify different principles of leaders. Identify the different type of leaders. And also identify the different leadership style. There are 8 characteristics of leadership. First, leadership is a process of influence. This leadership is is not about position or authority alone. It is about the ability to influence others, to guide or to shape their behaviors, attitudes, and beliefs whether directly through action of word or indirectly through example of presence. This leadership of the process influence is tungkol sa posisyon ng kapangyarihan. Ito ay kakayahang mag-influensya ang iba, baguhin or kanilang mga ugali ng pananaw o paniniwala sa direktamang pamamagitan ng utos o salita. Also, hindi direkta tulad ng pagbibigay ng magandang halimbawa. So number 2 is leadership is not one-dimensional. Of course, this leadership is not one of dimensional because the way they involve to understand the complex system or relations and the interaction between the leader and followers, a true leader knows that leadership is meaningless without followers. And effectively, leadership means considering different perspectives, emotion, and environment. The third is leadership and multifaceted leadership. It's a combination of personality. Yes. Number 3, leadership is not multifaceted because leadership is a mix of different elements, personal traits like confidence and integrity. Also, the leadership styles from strict to flexible, and also environmental factor like organizations, cultures, goals, or available resources is a great leader adapt based on the situation of people involved. The number 4 is leadership is a goal oriented. This leadership of is talks about the core or the leadership is about guiding or group towards of a share goals. The leader's influence are relevant only in the relation. The achievement of the goals is an action of influence is not helping reach the goals is no longer part of our leadership. Also, number 5 is leadership is not primary or particular personality traits. Yes, this leadership is ito ay tungkol sa pamumuno o hindi ilang tungkol sa pagkakaroon ng karismang personalidad. Also, maraming mga tao dito ang iniisip sa pagiging leader ay para lang sa mga taong introverted or confident or magaling magsalita or kanang paspas mag-entertain. Dali siya makakuha og knowledge ba. Then, yes, also the charisma can help pero hindi ito sapat na garantiya lang. Ito ay maging epekto sa isang leader. Also, number 6 is leadership is not primary a formal position. Yes, this number 6 is talks about leadership is not primary or formal position. Also, hindi porket may titulo ka is leader ka na. Hindi porket president ka hindi porket na may yun nga. Also, hindi ka pwede tawaging manager. Hindi ka pwede tawaging or supervisor or captain or president. Pero hindi ibig sabihin nun is effective leader ka na. Sa totoong leader is yung kung ano ang magbibigay mo sa direction or inspirational sa pagkilos ng tao kahit wala kang position. That's we call leader. Also, number 7, leadership is a primary set of important objectives. It involves getting things done. Yes, this talks about the objective of the leadership. This is hindi sapat na may layunin ka. Also, dapat may kakayahang kang isa katuparan o ito ay kasama ng iba. Also, pwedeng may magagandang plano or mga goals ng isang tao or isang team or sa room nyo. Also, ito ay nakakatulong or upang mapabuti ang komunidad o gusto ng isang classroom nyo, classroom president na ganito ang gagawin. Or especially sa mga events. Diyan talaga makikita ang leadership sa events. Also, and lastly, leadership is not primary a set of behaviors. Muna siya ang pamumuno ay hindi tungkol sa mga ginagawa mo. Ito ay tungkol kung paano nakaka-epekto sa iba. Also, maraming mga nagsasabi na dapat kang mag-delegate, mag-communicate, magbigay vision, or sa totoo, mag-help sa mga tao na ano yung mga kailangan nila, o ano yung mga needs ng mga tao. So that's we call leadership. That is called leader. So, manager versus leader. So, what is different manager versus leader? So, some questions are often being asked. Does a manager has to be leader too? Or does the leader have to be a manager as well? It is possible to be a boss in a company without being a leader, or manager are appointed but leader may be appointed or emerge. Okay, number 2 is managers depends upon their position, authority to direct subordinates, or leaders are able to influence followers beyond their formal authority. Or managers are people who do things right, and leaders are people who do right things. So dyan ang managers is siya yung tagapangasiwa or nakaka-sentros siya sa mga paano matapos na trabaho o kailangan paano gagawin, or siya yung mag-a-assist kung ganyan yung gawin, ito yung gagawin natin, ganun. Siya yung gusto niyang maayos ang takbo ng ating company or sa ating room, like president. Gusto niya maging maayos yung tactfully. While ang leader, muna siyang nagbibigay ng nagbibigay vision or mga inspiration. Hindi lang siya concerned sa trabaho. Iniisip niya ang mga tao sa mas malawak na layunin. Tinutulungan ng mga grupo or mga bigger na siya ay important of leadership. First, guide and inspired subordinates. A leader has to not only supervise but also to play guiding rules for the subordinates. Ang daniya mo na siya ang guide and inspire subordinates. Hindi lang taga-utos, nagbibigay direction at mas motivated ang mga team na magtrabaho. A leader does not just supervise, but they guide and inspire. Then second is secure cooperation. A leader sells rather than tells. He pursues rather than dictates and create enthusiasm among his subordinates, and those secure their cooperation. Dili naman, hindi bossy, marunong makipag-cooperate at mahikayat talaga siya sa mga sa mga kailangan gawin. A leader is pursues, not command. It's create enthusiasm, not fear. Then the third is create confidence. Confidence is important factors which can achieve through expressing the word effort to the subordinates. Explaining them clearly the rule and giving them guide to the achieved and goals effectively. Ang dinian naman sa number 3 is binibigyan ng tiwala ang team sa pamamagitan ng malinaw na guidance. Confidence is built through charity, support, and trust. The number 4 builds work environments. Management is getting things done from people, and efficient work environments, health and sound, and stable growth. Number 5, maintain discipline. By turning subordinates into followers, the job is creating orders and compliance become easy. It means to maintain discipline, mo siya ang mga good leader earns to respect of followers, making it easier to enforce rules and keep orders. It means magpapatupad ng disiplina kapag may respeto ang tao sa leaders, kaya mabilis ang pagproseso. Number 6, facilitate integrations of organizational and personal goals. It means a leader is now who is deciding the destination to be reached. It means leader help employee to connect their personal goals with the company, or the goals is creating shared direction. Tinutulungan ng mga leaders na makita ang empleyado na tagumpay ang kumpanya at tagumpay rin sila para mas nakakatulong sa company tapos nakakatulong din sa employee. Number 7 is work as a chance agents. No chance is thinking process and practices become possible without leader. It means diri kay mo ni siya ang work of chance or mga leader na nag-act of the people through chance, explain it benefits and reduce resistance. It means nag-uudyok at gumagabay sa pagbabago para mas madaling tanggapin ang lahat. Number 8 is boss morale. Morale denotes willing to cooperate of the employees toward their work and getting them into confident and winning their trust. It means boss morale mo na ang leader build trust, appreciation, and confidence among employee and making them more motivate. It means pinakamalakas na leaders ang loob ng empleyado para mas ganahan sila sa trabaho, ang mga employee. Next is principle of leadership. Principle of leadership is number 1 is know yourself and 6 employee improvement. It means know yourself. It means alamin mo muna sarili mo. Kung ano ang strength mo, ano ang mga weaknesses mo, tapos gawin mo yung goal mo para ma-improve palagi. The second is be technically proficient as a proficient. The is a leader is you must know your job, have a solid familiarity and employee status. It means diri kay dapat marunong ka sa trabaho. Dapat naintindihan mo yung trabaho mo. Dapat ma, dapat mabilis kang matuto para yung company is mabilis maglago. Then the next is seek responsibility, to take responsibility for your action. It means search for ways to guide your organization to new heights and new heights. It means diri kay mo na siya, huwag kang matakot tumanggap ng responsibilidad. Kapag nagkakamali ka is huwag mo isisi sa iba, tanggapin mo because real leaders own both success and failures. Number 4 is make sounds and timely decision. Use good problem-solving, decision-making, and planning tools. Diyan naman is mo siyang makakatulong gumawa or mga matalino sa mabilis na desisyon. Gumagamit sa tamang tools or mga analysis. It means the leadership is the ng timing and wisdom both matter. Number 5, set the example. Be a good role model for your employee. Yeah. Dapat maging being professional, okay, kanang kung ano yung ugali mo, ano yung attitude mo, yung ano yung pamamalakad mo sa company, dapat yun din yung ginagawa mo sa employee. Also, muna siya ang mga buting halimbawa sa mga empleyado mo. Hindi lang sapat na sabihin or dapat gawin, dapat makita rin nila sa sayo, sa action mo. Also, lead by example para mas madali silang sumunod. The number 6 is know your people and look out for their well-being. Human natures and keep importance of sincerely caring for your workers. Dili man is we need kilalanin mo muna mga tao mo at alagaan mo sila pag mga employee mo para sa yung mahalaga ang tunay is pag-alala sa kanila. It means caring leaders build trust and loyalty sa employee or sa tao mo, sa employee. The next, number 8 is developing sense of responsibility in your workers. Dili is nag-help siya develop or characteristic will help to carry out your professional responsibility. Dira kay mo na siya ang tinutulungan mo yung mga empleyado mo na maging responsible at magkaroon ng magandang karakter para magawa nila ang mga maayos na trabaho. It means you need to give responsible worker or reliable team. Number 9 is ensure that tasks are understood, supervised, and accomplished. Communication is the key of responsibility. Dili naman is mo siya ang mga workers na tinutulungan or mga sigurading malinaw ng task o binibigyan ng mga progress or natatapos ng maayos or mga komunikasyon susi dito. Being a good supervisor or a clean instruction lead to success. Dapat clean yung instruction mo para maging successful yung company or yung event na hinahandle mo. Number 10, treat as a team. Although, we need to treat as a team or organize department or section or magtiwala sa grupo. Or it means mahalaga ang training para sa mga katrabaho o mga employee, kaya sama-sama bilang isang tunay na team or grupo. Use the full capability of your organization. Dili naman is yung team spirit, you will be able to employ your organization or mga department or mga section. It means strong team or grupo mo sa spirit, mas nagagamit mo lang ng buo o kakayahan sa buong grupo or team as a team. It means teamwork unlocks maximum potential sa bawat isa. Then, types of leadership. The types of leadership is bureaucratic leadership. It means muna siya ang mga follow close set of standards and exact of a specific way to ensure the safety of a currency. It means ito yung mga mahigpit na rules o mga procedures na lahat na ginagawa ay sumusunod sa exact na paraan upang siguraduhin ligtas at tama ang resulta. Then also being dihapon siya ang good for situations kung saan mahalaga ang safety at consistency ng inyong company. Also, number 2 is charismatic leadership. Which is called charismatic leadership, muna siya ang mga magnetic personality behaviors of a leader or effect of mga followers, organization, or mga society. Muna siya ang mga leader na malakas ang personality na nakaka-inspire sa mga followers. Dahil dito, siguro malaki ang mga charms o mga behavior na nagkaroon sila ng malaking epekto sa grupo o lipunan. It means the leaders like this motivate people through their personality or vision. Visionary leadership is challenges growth opportunity before it happens or position people produce extraordinary. It means visionary leader is nagkakita ng mga challenges or opportunity bago ito mangyari. So hinihanda nila ang mga team para magkamit ang extraordinary resulta na may tunay na impact, or it means focus on future goals, inspiring others to achieve big. Third, strategic leadership. Strategic leadership is manager potential express a strategic version or organization or the motivate the person who has mayroong kakayahan ng isang manager na magbibigay ng malinaw na strategic vision at hinikayatin ang mga tao na sundan ito. Kasama rito ang mga paggamit ng strategy sa pamahala ng team. Pinagsama-sama ang leadership at mga strategic para maging success. Number 4 is servant leadership. Basically, servant leadership was a coin of Robeki green leaf. The servant is muna siyang mga konsepto kung saan ang leadership ay nuuna ng kapakanan ng mga tao o nagsisilbi sa kanila bilang leader who lead by serving other first. The fifth is substitute for leadership. It means diri kay mo ni siya ang the Truth Life by Kerr and Germer in 1978. It means mo ni siya ang konsepto na ito ay nagsasabing may mga bagay na trabaho o tao na nag-lead ng kosa, kaya hindi gaano kailangan ng direct involvement ng mga leaders. Also, sometimes environment and team dynamics listen the needs for constant leadership. Number 6 is transactional and transformational leadership. It means muna siyang mga based upon the assumption that people motivate by rewards and punishment. Also, muna siya ang mga kanang tungkuling mga reward na punishment para ma-motivate ang tao o mas malinaw na i-chain ang command of sumusunod na mga empleyado sa utos mga manager. Or so, muna siya ang mga focus on or chance do get that transportation. Next is leadership style. Before we devolve into describing leadership style, it would be proper to distinguish between types of leaders and styles and leadership. The types of leaders determine the identified by personality delay by leadership and terms of core of traits. They have also authoritarian style. We can call authoritarian style. It means the followers their own what work, the what get done. It means manin siyang mga also na tinatawag silang autocratic leadership is style where the leader has full control and make decision without asking people or without asking others. Next is participative style. Dili naman mo ni siya ang sinasabi ni ano kasi authoritarian style leader is I want you to, but the participative style mo ni siya ang sabi niya is let us work together to resolve the problem. It means mo ni siya ang nag leadership is mo na siya ang known as democratic leadership. It means the style with leader include the team and decisions making. Mo na siya, also free reign leadership style. Diri naman is mo na siya ang sabi niya dito say you take care of the problem. Leadership is a probably single most subject and management getting the most attention of business leader. Some of the current issues in the leadership development are as under the first is emotional intelligence. Should leader have the high intelligence or mga IQ na mas technical intelligence? It means mo na siya ang mga tag-asog IQ or technical skill are important, but a great leader also need emotional intelligence and ability of manage emotion, build relationship, and understand others. It helps the leader connect with the team and handle stress or effectively. The second is gender and leadership. It means the different of leadership like Victor Vroom and others. The leader particularly model under the continuity theory. That means there is study of the like Victor Vroom's models show that women's leaders tend to be a more participative than men. Also, mo ni siya ang they often involve the team or decision making and encourage collaboration. Different style, both, but it effect depending on the situation. The third is cross cultural leadership. It means the appointing of mo ni siya ang in a global companies or foreign or leader are often appointed. They need to understand and respect different cultures, values, communications, styles, or effectively across the countries. Is international cross leader. Fourth is build trust. It means na siya mga build trust like Coca-Cola and Pepsi or soil pollution grow niya na then na siya mga scandals like mga pollutions, fraud of mga privacy issues, mga trust and critical thinking, critical leaders or leaders must be ethical or transparent and responsible to maintain public trust.
Hello, good day everyone. I am Mona, and for today's topic, I will be discussing assertive communication. So, the objectives at the end of this chapter, the student shall be able to define and explain assertiveness, identify the different assertive behaviors, differentiate the assertiveness from aggressiveness, and lastly, know the ABCs of assertiveness. Assertiveness. Assertiveness is a skill regularly referred to in social and communication skills training. Being assertive means being able to stand up for your own or others people's right in a calm and positive way, without being either aggressive or passively accepting wrong. So, kaning assertiveness, these are the type of people na kabalo mo stand up for themselves. And also, kabalo sila mo lugar sa ilahang opinions, kabalo sila mo lugar silang sarili. And they kanang mudawat sila og mga opinions sa laing tao sa ilaha ba, then mo response lang pud sila accordingly or in a positive way. So these are the behavior includes of the assertiveness, being open and expressing wishes, thoughts, and feelings, and encouraging others to do likewise. So next is listening to the views of others and responding appropriately, whether with agreement with those views or not, and accepting responsibilities, being able to delegate to others, regularly expressing appreciation of others of what they have done or are they doing, being able to admit mistakes and apologize, maintaining self-control, and behaving as an equal to others. So kani mga assertiveness, so kani mga assertive nga mga tao no kay mao ni sila ang mga um, positive lang gyud ang ilang ginahuna-huna kanang kabalo gyud sila kung magtan-aw sa um, mga achievements nimo, sila to ang mo kuan sa imuha nga parang ipadayon na kanang may ana gani kanang mga positive lang jud gani ang mga thoughts nila, tapos positive pud sila mohatag sa imuha og mga opinions, advices, sila na magtulak sa imuha to do better nga na ba, then they are likely more selfless sila in a way na di lang sarili nila ang ilahang ginahuna po nila ang nakapalibot sa yaha like friends, family, or lovers ba. So next, being passive. So people responding in a passive or non-assertive way tend to mean compliance with the wishes of others and can undermine individual rights and self-confidence. So mo ni sila tong mga people pleaser like me. I can relate to it because I'm also a people pleaser, no? Kana ganing mga tao nga manghayo sa imong favor and you can say no. So yung ani ko kanang I can say no to anything nga mga favor like sa akong mga friends, yung ana kanang people pleaser jud ko kanang magkunahuna man gud ko silang mga ginahuna gani what if kung mobalibad ko malain ka sila sa kuha yung ana ba. Then many passive people are non-assertive because they fear a strong reaction or rejection from others. So, aside from being tawagan na people pleaser, kani pud sila ang mga tao nga dili gani mag-participate kaayo. Labi na sa klase, nga na pud ko. Kana gani kabalo ko sa answer pero dili ko mo hands up ba kay mahadlo ko nga what if mali to tapos katawan gani ko or ma-reject ako ang opinion or akong answer ing ana ba. So I know a lot of people can relate to it. Then such people do not regard themselves as equals because they place greater weight on the rights, wishes, and feelings of others. So next na punta, being aggressive. So aggressive behavior fails to consider the views or feelings of other individuals. So mo ni sila mga tao na mga selfish. Kana ganing ilang sarili lang ilang ginaw na dili sila magunaw sa feelings sa laing tao or nakasakit ba sila or wala. Ay nga na gani mga tao ng lack of empathy. Then those behaving aggressively often lack understanding or appreciation of others, and an aggressive response tend to put others down. So kalto, mao to sila mga kuan, lack of understanding, appreciation, di sila maka-appreciate og mga little things like kanang kuan gi kasaya maayo kay kasaya ha pero saya ha day wala ra to ingana gani. Then they tends to put others down. So wala jud kay ma-expect ani nila no kay ginapa always lang jud disappointment lang jud ang makatag ani nila sa imuha kay lagi lack of empathy, lack of understanding, di kabalo mo appreciating ana. So next, the difference between aggression and assertiveness. So sa aggression sa ta. So ang nasa aggression, they force your needs or opinions to others. Next, often involves bullying or pushing other around. So, kuyawa din no, kay mao din sila mga tao nga kuan, aggression day tawag ani sila ha. Kana gani mga hilig og bully, involved ka ng mga bullying ana sa school, sa workplace, di ba? Dagan matag makitaan or makasalimuhan may nga nga tao. So, aggression day tawag ana sila ha. Next is only your needs matter. Ano sila lagi mga selfish na mga tao no. Ilahang sarili lang jud ilang ginahuna. No compromise, damages relationship. So obviously, dagan jud mga relationship nga madaotan nito sa ilahang way of coping gani. Kanang toxic ilahang kuan ba ilang batasan. Then may lead to shouting or physical aggression. Mo mga tao nga most of the time mustorya kanang pinakuan gani, pinasyagit always kanang dili jud demure ilahang mga tingog ba kay puro gid mga kuan most likely kani man sa household gani kung unsa jud sila gipadako kanang unsay nakita nila silang parents ingana. Then damages self-esteem. So wala sila confidence. Kay tungod insecure sila. Insecure then nang nilang una-huna ba dagan gani kuan nga diri ra ko taman nga na ba, dili sila kabalo mo kuan gani silang sarili mo, build up silang self-esteem. It is because of their behavior. So next is assertiveness. One, they express their needs clearly and respectfully. Others are treated with respect. Consider the needs of others as well as yours. So, mga kuan dyan sila, no? Mga selfless na mga tao. And often compromise, strengthen relationships, healthy ilang relationship, regardless so kinsa man na, sa friends ba, sa family ba, sa lover ba. Kaya mo sila mga tao nga communication is the key. Kanang dili jud paabton og kuan ba. Dili pa dakoon ang conflict kay murag istoryahan jud ninyo nga na ang mga tao sa assertiveness. Using clear language to get point across, then build self-esteem. So mga confident ni sila ng mga tao. Nga na. So that's all everyone. Thank you for listening.